Brittany Renner has never shied away from speaking her truth. And when it comes to her whirlwind marriage to Kevin Gates, she's been refreshingly candid. You'll be shocked to hear how she feels about Kevin now and why fans believe he is still hung up on their relationship. In a recent sit-down with a Los Angeles radio station, Brittany confirmed what fans had suspected for weeks. Their union was over almost as quickly as it began. She went into the details of how they were getting divorced and even talked about why she was in a 90-day waiting period, explaining.
We got married April 6th and divorced May 28th.
So you're divorced?
Yes. But there is a 90-day waiting period in Islam where it's basically you have 90 days to see if you're pregnant because then he would be responsible, right? And then also in those 90 days, it's for reconciliation because Allah wants you to stay married.
Despite how quick the marriage was, Brittany actually seemed to speak about it without a hint of regret, as she said, "I don't think anybody gets married to not stay married. So my biggest thing for me is a nice 90-day reset, just focusing on myself and pouring into myself." She also went into how she actually gave the relationship her all no matter what others might think. That's more than most people can say in this world. And I think when you do that, you get all the clarity you need and there's no stone left unturned. You don't have regret. I think a lot of people, their issue is even just in dating and marriage, people don't give it their all. They don't just go for it. I feel like when you do, you're at peace with whatever happens because I gave 100%. For Kevin Gates, however, the conversation has been far quieter. During a recent live stream with YouTubers Zias and Bilu, one of the hosts tried to coax him into talking about the breakup. However, it didn't seem like Kevin was ready to take the bait.
You listening good? Who I love, I don't discuss. Yeah. Who I love, I don't discuss. All right, 2 more people.
However, the choice of the words, "who I love," caught fans' attention immediately, as it seemed to hint that perhaps he wasn't completely over Brittany. That silence is also especially striking given everything else happening in his personal life. While the Brittany chapter played out in public, Kevin was also navigating the end of his long marriage to Dreka Gates, the mother of his 2 children, Isla and Kaza. Dreka filed for divorce in Los Angeles on July 30th, citing irreconcilable differences and requesting joint custody, spousal support, and legal fees. The controversy had been especially bad as rumor went that Dreka had strayed from him. However, it's something that was later denied as she defended herself, saying, "I have to address this because it's gone a little too far and I don't care for social media to continue to spread this misinformation. I have never had any type of or romantic encounters with my personal trainer or any hired help and will never." Kevin himself even later confirmed he'd never accused her of infidelity. However, their marriage still hit a dead end, with the divorce officially finalized. Dreka's filing also made it clear she's ready to move on for good, and it's clear that she's focused on her children and her wellness business rather than any reconciliation. The timeline of the divorce also added fuel to fans' theory that Kevin could be regretting single life. Dreka listed her official date of separation as July 10th, just weeks after Kevin's short-lived marriage to Brittany had already ended, and by the time the paperwork hit the courthouse, Brittany's 90-day waiting period was still in effect. Seeing the timeline, many quickly started to speculate that Kevin could still had been hoping for a second chance with Brittany now that he was officially free from his legal marriage. However, many questioned why Kevin wouldn't just move on if the relationship truly had to end, especially since Brittany's own statements made it sound like the decision was mutual. It also seems like Brittany seems to be back to her old life pre-Kevin, as she has been seen returning to her old fashion style, which many believe could mean that she is actively giving up any connection she had with Kevin, despite how he might feel about her. Dreka Gates has made it crystal clear that the love story she once shared with Kevin Gates is officially over, and there's no turning back as their divorce has been finalized one and for all. You'll be shocked to hear why fans believe Kevin was trying to get her back, and why Dreka is choosing single life. On July 30th, Dreka officially filed for divorce from Kevin Gates, ending nearly a decade of marriage as court documents cited irreconcilable differences, with Dreka requesting joint legal and physical custody custody of their 2 children, along with spousal support and coverage of her legal fees. For fans who have watched the couple's highs and lows play out publicly, the filing seemed to confirm what everyone was thinking about them, as it was clear that the relationship had been falling apart for years. Speculation about why they split dates back to 2022 when Kevin released his hard-hitting track, Super General. In the song, he hinted that he had protected Dreka's image and dropped a cryptic reference to a personal trainer who invaded his personal space. It was therefore no wonder that fans seemed to jump to conclusions, as many read the lyrics as an accusation that Dreka had been cheating on him. Online spaces exploded with speculations, and by the time Dreka filed for divorce, many fans believed the breakup stemmed from her supposed affair. But Dreka was having none of it, as she decided to set things straight when a follower bluntly asked on Instagram why she cheated with Kevin's trainer. She fired back saying, "I have to address this because it's really gone a little too far, and I don't care for social media to continue to spread this misinformation. I have never had any type of sexual or romantic encounters with my personal trainer or any hired help, and will never." She even addressed the fact that the trainer was supposedly a woman, saying that she unfortunately doesn't play for that team. And just to make it clear, sorry ladies, but I am strictly about the eggplant and I do not do plastic. I need the real thing, please and thank you. Kevin later backed her up, as he also explained that he never meant to say that Dreka had cheated on him, and that the reason for their marriage falling apart actually had nothing to do with what people were suspecting. However, while Dreka was innocently moving toward independence, Kevin's love life took quite the detour, as he decided to show just how over Dreka he was by starting to date influencer Brittany, and then even ended up in a kind of spiritual marriage with her. In April, Brittany even referred to Kevin as her husband during the Basketball Wives Season 12 premiere.
So Islam has made my life better in every single category. And like my husband says, the closer you get to God, the more you get.
But the union was as brief as it was unexpected, as Brittany revealed they wed on April 6th and split on May 28th, just 52 days later. She also clarified that she had recently converted to Islam and saw the experience as a spiritual step rather than a legal one. Far from feeling bitter about it, she also added, "I don't feel like it's a sucky situation because what is meant to be is always going to be," and even insisted she had no regrets. Interestingly, Dreka listed her date of separation from Kevin as July 10th, which is just weeks after his whirlwind marriage to Brittany had already ended. For some fans, the timeline raised suspicion, as many started to speculate whether Kevin had been trying to rush through a rebound relationship to provoke a reaction from Dreka. As soon as Kevin and Brittany went their separate ways, rumors swirled that he might even attempt to reconcile with her, especially as Dreka and Kevin share a long history, 2 children, and years of business ventures together. But Dreka's actions spoke louder than any fan theory. By formally filing for divorce and pushing to finalize it, she made it very clear that there was no taking Kevin back, as she is fully ready to start a new chapter for her life. In fact, many fans were extremely happy to see this, as many believed that Dreka deserved to finally be able to live her life freely. Proud of Dreka for divorcing Kevin Gates. As a day one fan and knowing the history, it's refreshing to see her end the karmic loop. Hope to see her onward and upward, light